Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rizky Kobella. I am from pbiB. Today, I want to read a text with the title Everyday Life in the Soviet Union, the Shopping Runaround. Let's start. The author Hedrick Smith was head of the New York Times office in the Moscow from 1971 to 1974. The following passage is adapted from Mr. Smith's book, The Russians, which was published in the 1976 by Quadrigal or the New York Times Book Company. First, I had heard about consumer sort takes before going to Moscow, but only when we began to shop there did the Russian consumers' problems really have meaning for me. Customer the word overweight in the lines, but Soviet lines have a special quality all their own. Typical, the Soviet women spend 2 hours a day in line, 7 days a week. Personally, I have known of people who stood in line 19 minutes to buy 4 pineapples and 30 half hours to buy 3 large heads of cabbage, only to find the cabbage were gone as they approached the front of the line. Lines can run from a few yards to nearly a mile. Some friends of ours watches a line of people in Moscow signing up to buy rugs. The line lasted 2 days and nights and ran for across all took an apartment development. Second, in spite of all of this, the natural reaction of the Russian woman when she sees a line forming is to get in it immediately, even before she knows what is being sold. However, Soviet lines are more fluid than they appear. In most stores, for example, shopper must stand in not one but 3 lines for any purchase. This first to select a purchase and find out this price. Second, to pay a cashier somewhere else in the store and get a receipt and give a receipt. And the third, to go pick up the purchase and turn in the receipt. Number third, but in a diary store morning, I found out that the game is both simpler and more complex than that. I went to buy some cheese, butter, and bologna sauce, which were in their spirit departments, each with its own nine lines. Number 4. Rather quickly, took I noticed the experience Supper were skipping the first stage. They knew what most items cost, so they went directly to the cashier for their receipt. After studying prices, I did that too. Then I went to the chase line, the longest, probably 20 people, to get the worst over with first. I was in the line last. Then I minutes when the woman in front of me asked me to hold her place. She darted off to the butter and milk line. The cheese line was moving so slowly that she got her butter and milk returned before we had advanced 3 feet. There, 3 feet. I decided to take the risk too, and I got back with my butter while the cheese line was still inching along. Number 5. Then it suddenly occurred to me that all over the store people were getting into line, holding place, laying, returning. Everyone was using the chase line as home base. That was why it was very moving. It kept expanding in the middle. So I get the man behind me to hold my place and I went off to buy my bollock now. Once again, it worked. It took me 22 minutes to buy butter, sausage, and cheese. But instead of being furious, I felt as if I had beaten the system. Number 6, this competitive shopping gave an atmosphere of tension to Russian life. People barrage into store and bump into each other with face set in combinative expression. You have to understand, said a kind gray-haired person, that for as long as we can remember, shopping has been a struggle. Life is a struggle. Number 7, there is hardly any effective advertising to help shopper. Americans complain about the constant commercial in the United States, but they might reconsider. If they were exposed to by consumer blackouts in Russia. A typical Soviet ad might be if you want to live to a ripe old age and be beautiful, modest, thorough, and truthful, drink tea. Most newspapers publish without ads. The shopper has no handy yellow page or daily newspaper supermarket or department store ads to help her decide where to shop. Number 8, bribery is widespread. Low paid $80 to $20 monthly. Sales clerk take a portion of attractive item and sell them secretly to regular customer who have either left a brief in advance or can be counted on to pay a high price on delivery. 10 to 15 rubles on a 16 rub raincoat is standard. In 1976, the ruble was equivalent to $1.32. Number 9. So common is this practice that the Soviet press is always complaining about it, but it doesn't do any good. Crocodile, the Soviet humor magazine, once showed a department store employee promoting some newly arrived item. Their customer in the leather goods department, 500 imported women purse have been received. 450 of them have been booked by store employees. 49 are under the counter and have been ordered in the advance for friends. One purse in this is One purse is in the display window. We invite you to visit the leather departments to buy this purse. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you very much for watching this video. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.